All right, so this is an absurd story. I'm about to take delivery of a Rivian R1S. It's a 2026 with the NACS plug. So I'll go in here, I will show you the spec that I got. I will be keeping the R1T through the end of the lease because we got to ride it out at this point. Let's go take delivery of the new R1S. All right, so what did I end up getting here? Was it the limestone? Was it the granite color? Was it the LA silver? Black? Did I go with those wheels? No. Went with the all-terrain wheels, storm blue, and the slate sky interior. So I got an R1S tri-motor. First, okay, we'll start with the exterior. So here's the big battle I was having. Do I take the range loss hit and go with these tires, or do I go with these? Now in conserve mode with a tri-motor, you can get 405 miles of range out of this vehicle, but when you go to the all-terrain wheels, you lose about 50 miles of range. And I figured I'll go with the all-terrains because I want to do some things with off-roading, and then I can always put road tires on here and see how efficient we can make it to get the over 400 miles of range. Now the color is storm blue. This color is incredible. I wish they actually had like a slightly better color palette. I wanted to get something bright, but storm blue is an incredible color. But check this out. It's a 26, so we have NACS as standard, which is awesome because now we can easily use the Tesla network. The funny part is, when you go to a Rivian Adventure Network site, you have to use an adapter. They are going to slowly convert it to NACS, but this thing's incredible. So now let's check the inside. But if you want a chance to win your own Rivian R1S or R1T, CCAN Action Fund is doing their annual EV raffle. So check this out. So I've been telling you guys about this EV raffle all summer, and they are currently severely undersold. There are currently thousands of tickets that have been unsold, which means your odds of winning have never been better. Each ticket sold gives you not one, not two, but gives you 3 chances to win an electric vehicle. Fewer tickets sold means fewer tickets in the drawing, making your odds of winning a Rivian, Lucid, or Porsche EV even better. Prizes range from the Lucid Gravity to a Rivian R1S or R1T to a Porsche Macan EV and even a Volkswagen ID Buzz and more. So tickets are just $200 and they help CCAN Action Fund's mission to fight for clean energy. So if you haven't purchased a ticket yet, what are you waiting for? And if you already have, why not pick up another to increase your odds? Remember, each ticket is 3 entries for the various levels of vehicles. And all of this ends in a few days on September 2nd. And time is running out. So go to www.evraffle.org and get your tickets today. That's evraffle.org, or check the video's description or pinned comment. CCAN, thank you for sponsoring this video. All right, so the inside of this slate sky walnut. Now here's a little change they've made to the Gen 2. To open the door, you just press this button here, and then there's also this release as well. So you can put your windows down here, and then the seats are like a fjord blue. It's BMW color, I think. Look at that Rivian logo stitched in, embossed into there, and the floor mats, jeez. Pedals look great, Rivian logo down here in the sound system. And then you also have the electrochromatic glass. I think they call it dynamic glass roof here. So let's see what we got. Pair your phone. We'll skip that for now. Don't want Bezos looking in my car. Get started, set up later, yes. Data and privacy, take all my data. And our electric adventure starts now. Well, I've had mine started for a while, but there you go. 18.8 miles on this absolute monster of a vehicle. What do we want to go with? Purple. Now to the stage, Daisy. Gear guard. No incidents yet, okay. So tap your key there, and now we're ready to drive. And then if I put ride height, we're going to go up to standard, get the car lifted. You can see 249 miles of range down there. But if I put it into conserve mode, the range increases all the way up to 280. So that basically locks it into front wheel drive, but you gain significant range by putting it into conserve. So you have sport, snow, conserve, all purpose, and then you have your off-road modes here. So you have your rock crawl, soft sand, rally, drift, all of that stuff, and then the car lifts itself even higher, then shows your pitch and roll over here. Current elevation 1,204 feet. So yeah, we'll knock the suspension, cancel, we'll put it on road and all purpose. But yeah, the interior, I mean, look at them, just the way that they put these things together and the materials that they choose and the way that the seats look, it's incredible. This is new and improved, this here, so it should hold your phone in place better, but we'll see. I don't really actually use these wireless phone chargers that much. Move my seat back. It's also cool when you're adjusting things like your mirrors, you know, these, so when you click your name, click mirrors, and then you can see here, it just says to use these. So you can use these to actually adjust the mirrors and everything. So it's just a really cool integration, just less buttons and just using the software and the controls that you have on the vehicle, just keeping it nice and clean on the interior. Now, the question you may be asking yourself is, you know, how did you buy this car? It's $117,000. You make YouTube videos, you're poor. And, well, that's where this story gets absolutely insane. If you're not familiar, I have a Rivian R1T. I leased it in December of 2023, okay? Now, I leased that video. I was thinking of maybe getting a Tesla Model X, but that cost so much. And I also wanted to do something different. I wanted to do a different electric vehicle. That way I could share that experience with you guys. I also knew that Rivian was potentially going to come out with a referral program. And they didn't come out with a referral program until I've had the car for about 9 months. At that point, they came out with a referral program, and I had since been making a bunch of videos. My goal with the YouTube videos was to basically break even on owning it, and since then I've been able to do that. But with their Rivian referral program, which hundreds of you guys used my code, I was able to get this car using my Rivian referral points. I just had to pay taxes on it. I had to pay $11,400 in taxes, and this car is paid off and it's mine, and that is because of you guys using my code. Now, some of you may say, oh, it must be nice to get a car for free. And I was even thinking to myself, wow, I'm getting a free car. But there really isn't anything that's actually free, because if you think about it, I had to post 1,100 YouTube videos to create a following. Think about the hours that it took to do that. And then you still have to pay taxes on it and all of that stuff. So I'm very grateful to you guys, but it was just a big reminder to me that the reason I'm saying this, because if you have the attitude like, oh, what the heck, like I want a free car. It's like, yeah, it's free, but I also put in over a decade of work on a channel to grow an audience and to gain trust of everyone to actually be able to get in a position to do this. So I just want to say that I am very thankful to you, but it's also not really free because of the effort that went in the background. But this is remarkable to me. It's in a way, it's like hitting the lottery. So because of the gamble I took owning the R1T and thinking potentially they're going to come out with a referral program, it worked out perfectly. And I absolutely love the brand. I mean, anytime I talk about them, it is genuine. I mean, I like the car. And I've also been just very straightforward on the service, not the service issues that I've had, the issues with my R1T. But enough of that talking. Let's take it for a ride. The other thing that Rivian's done is they've upgraded the suspension geometry, and actually some of the Gen 1 vehicles got this via a software update. So they've made the ride quality a little bit better in the R1S. The R1T rides a little bit better because it has a longer wheelbase. This feels a little bouncier, but overall I don't really have any complaints with it. Also, the tires on this give you a little bit extra, so it's really well sprung. You can also change the ride height and the ride feel here. So we're currently on moderate and standard height, and then you can change the regen as well. So all of that is built into here, and if I go into all-purpose mode, you can see the mileage actually dropping down on the screen there, which I just think it's really cool that they reflect that so you can see what you're getting out of your vehicle. The other thing is the camera in this. So I'll show you the camera right now. This is the highest resolution camera currently of any vehicle made on the market. You can see it's just really well done, both front and rear. But the colors, I mean, everything is dead on, and so it's like having a built-in dash cam right on your vehicle. So, I mean, I just can't say enough good. And then you have the blind spot detection here. So you can see that camera's been upgraded over the Gen 1. It's not perfect yet, but it's better than nothing. And having that just as another check to make sure nothing's in your blind spot is really good. Almost ran over that homeless guy. Let's give it a little bean. God. It does always feel like, and if you own an R1S, let me know if you feel the same thing, but it always feels like the car is kind of leaning left in an R1S, and I've had that happen in the demo vehicle too, and I'm not exactly sure why. But yeah, this thing, it drives really well. I do have a sunshade I got from Vion.parts. They make one for the R1T and the R1S. They also make the best fitting one for Tesla Model 3 and Y, so that's what it looks like in the R1S. This does have the electrochromatic glass, which is a really cool feature, but ultimately having a sunshade gives you the most blockage and will let you run the air conditioning a little more efficiently. So I'm gonna go with a sunshade over tint, especially with the electrochromatic glass. I don't think you want to tint that, just a sunshade that I can remove, but that's what I go with there. I'll have that linked in the description with a discount code. But yeah, I can't say enough about like the build. Like even look at these cup holders, they're slightly upgraded. Just the coloring here, kind of a nickel color matching the walnut. Yeah, there's a notification that the light is green and I needed to go. So I can't say enough good about these vehicles. I know they're expensive, but ultimately it's a great EV that delivers on what people want, and that is big range, decent charging curve, and great technology inside the vehicle with incredible off-road capabilities. So yeah, I just can't say enough. So let's look at some of the exterior features. So there's a bunch of things that they updated on these Gen 2 vehicles. Some of them are more notable than others. So we'll open up the frunk space here. They added a heat pump to these Gen 2 vehicles to make them more efficient in colder weather. So the frunk is actually slightly smaller. They've also added this so you can flip it. So it's carpeted on one side and rubber on the other, but it still has a drain plug down here. You have your cable for the air compressor that's in the back, and then you have your little first aid kit, and then that all lifts out if you want to fill it with ice while you're on a road trip so you can drink and drive with cold beer. The other thing that they've done is it has the dark out package. So these are dark, the bottom is dark. The dark out also makes this lettering dark and the badging around the back. And the biggest thing, they also cut out a mile of cabling in these vehicles to simplify like the wiring harnesses on the inside. That also helps reduce weight and cost on Rivian's end. And the big one on these 26 models, this is what I was waiting for, is the NACS charging port. The other thing is, the big thing for me, the debate was on this vehicle is, should I go with the off-road tires or should I go with the sport dark rims? So I ended up going with this because what I'm going to test later is how much more range I can get by putting a road wheel as compared to these. So 351 miles of range is what I can get in conserve mode with these. Conserve mode locks the Rivian R1S into front wheel drive. So it adds about 33 miles of range just by locking it into front wheel drive. I absolutely love that they factor that in. The other thing is when you go from sport to standard or standard to conserve, it actually shows you what your range is going to be in those drive modes. So again, the color Storm Blue, it just looks incredible. Now I do wish this was darked out as well with the dark out package. And then I'll show you this here. So we have the, of course I went to FedEx and got this laminated here, but so what these come with, and the other thing is like, to those of you looking to get a Rivian, this is a tri-motor. They also have the quad motor now, which is above this. One of the most overvalued things in these vehicles is going for more performance. You do not need, this does 0 to 60 in 2.9 seconds. You don't need that. You're very rarely going to floor a vehicle of this size and need that. The slowest Rivian is 4.5 seconds to 60. That's the standard range. And that has an LFP pack. So you can charge that safely to 100% every day if you want. That's really all you need. That still comes with the air suspension, the off-road capabilities, the heated and cooled seats, the pet mode, the great like it comes with pretty much all you need is that standard model. I was actually debating doing that, and Kyle Connor, I actually saw, he just took delivery of the cheapest model you can get. That's really all you need. And now I got this because I was like, well, this is kind of a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity to get a vehicle and literally only pay the taxes on it, as I talked about earlier. So I was like, let's just build it out and do like a dream spec and show that on the channel. So let's see here. So it has gear guard. Again, all the Rivians have the gear guard, which is your security system in the vehicle. Perforated vegan leather seating, heated and ventilated seats, Sirius XM that's Sirius XM. R1S Tri, so it currently starts at $106,990. And then our big options were Storm Blue Paint, $3,000, Slate Sky plus Walnut Wood Interior, $3,000, and then the 20-inch all-terrain dark wheel package, $4,700, and that includes reinforced underbody shield and the bigger tires and those wheels. So that brings it all to $119,585, and then I had $120,000 in referral credits. So to the 260 plus of you that use my referral code, I sincerely appreciate it. I didn't even really push it. I mentioned it in videos and just said, hey, I have the referral code, whatever. But the same thing happened with Tesla. Like, I have 700 some Tesla referrals, and I didn't really push it. I just brought value by saying, hey, this is how the car is. So all in all, you know, the lease on the R1T cost me about $36,000. Then paying taxes on this, a little under $50,000 ultimately is what this cost me, because I took the gamble. I knew Rivian was going to come out with a referral program. I just didn't know what the program was, and obviously that paid off. And also, I'm sincerely thankful toward Rivian for making this process as easy as possible. Like, there were no games with it. Someone reached out, they helped get the points approved, delivery was seamless. The other thing is, look at this. Look at this paint. It is perfect. I do not see any water spots. The car is in excellent condition. I took delivery of a brand new 2026 Model Y this year. Last year I took delivery of a 2024 Model 3 Performance. Both of those vehicles were delivered to me with heavy water spot damage on the entire vehicle. Now, I don't trust Tesla to go and fix that and, you know, bring someone in and do cheap work. So I went to Dynamic Tint. I had Tyler have a guy paint correct the entire vehicle before we laid film and ceramic coated them. So Rivian is doing an excellent job at making sure everything, I mean, the car is spotless, and I'm like, you know, I would notice something. The car is just in excellent shape, and their service has been excellent. Like, they reach out to you, they follow up the next day, they always give you a call. Hey, is there anything else you would like to add to your service appointment? They always had, if they had a loaner didn't have a loaner available, they would say, we're going to set you up with Enterprise. And I want the company to survive and do well, so I even denied a loaner car, I think twice, and just had my wife pick me up because I don't want to have them spend the money when I have another vehicle I can drive. So I just love this brand so much, and I just can't say enough about their detail and the branding that they've created. It's like Patagonia and Land Rover created a vehicle, essentially, and I think they've done a really nice job getting what people want. You want the great over-the-air updates. They have their proprietary charging network, which they've opened up to the public now. And then they have good software with over-the-air updates and an app that works reliably. They've done all of the good things that Tesla has done, but then turned it into more of a, I don't know how to describe it, but it's a more bespoke platform. The interiors, the colors, the wheels, the off-roading, the outdoorsiness of this whole brand is just really well done. So I'm going to be doing a ton on this. Make sure you're subscribed to the channel. If you want to see what it's like to do a cross-country road trip in a Rivian, I took my R1T across the country. Click this video right here. That will be very useful to you, but I have a ton of content coming with this R1S, and if you used my referral code for Rivian, thank you very much. I could not have done this without you.